Hello, Reformers, and welcome back to A Clash of Kings 3.0. Now, when we left off, we had just raided a caravan, actually. We destroyed it, and we pilfered a bunch of goods that is obviously going to help us to pay for our wages. Now, obviously those wages are not exactly going to be extreme at the moment, because, of course, we do have our mercenary payment helping us out and everything, and, kind of doing pretty well, actually. Now, the one thing that I would love to be able to do is maybe purchase another enterprise if I can, because obviously right now I have about 7,600, probably going to be gaining a little bit more with next week's wages, and we're actually just going to take a look at that really fast. Weekly budget, as you can see, we're going to gain about 700, which is not great. And I'm actually kind of surprised that the wages are so much, but I suppose it is due to the fact that we have Raventree and Carhold Longbowmen, absolutely fantastic units. And yeah, they're actually the same weekly wage, exactly the same. So if you do have to choose, then Raventree archers are definitely the way to go. Now, what I would also love to do is find a companion that can actually give us some surgery skill. Wouldn't that be fantastic? Yeah, I have a feeling that... No. Do you have any idea who I am? If you want to fight, you shall have one. I'm going to thrust into you like this. Yes, there we go. Yes, just ignore the miss. Thank you very much. Just ignore that. Thank you. Yeah, I've never purported to be one of the better fighters in this game. So, anyway, let's have a look. What have you been doing since you're... Oh. Are you... Oh. You're 2,500. I don't think you have surgery, my good man. I don't think you have surgery, so... Probably going to avoid that. What about Lana? Hello, Lana. What are you... Is this Lana Winters? Yeah, if you get that reference, then, props to you, because that's an amazing series. Anyway, yeah, I have to be courteous. But, no, excuse me. No, thank you. Okay, so, yes, I thought that might be a companion, but... Unfortunately not. Unfortunately not. So, well, there we go. There wasn't really much to do there, was it? Well, that's a shame. We could have gotten that other companion, but I really wanted to wait for someone with medical skill. So, maybe I'm just going to have to spec into that myself. I mean, look at this. We're level 18. I think we have a pretty good case to make to actually get a little bit of surgery skill, because we have none. And that's going to make things relatively difficult in the long run for us, isn't it? So, probably be a good idea to see if we can get some of that. Now, what I obviously did beforehand is try to fight some... What is it? Lorath, yes. I thought for a second there I thought it said Lothar, and I have no idea why. Maybe it's because... wait a minute, is there a person in Warcraft lore that is called Lothar or Lothar or something? Maybe I think I'm actually getting a completely different thing. Okay, so what's this? Oh. Walking alone in the forest, you come across two young women bathing in a stream. They seem to be alone with no way of defending themselves. You decide to leave. Yes. You decide to leave. I'm not going to do anything to them. Thank you very much. Okay, so this is the thing, okay? I'd love to be able to take this, because I personally feel like we'd be able to take both Ixacaria and Greycliffs without any problem whatsoever, because these archers right here, they're just going to bombard the walls. They're going to destroy them extremely, extremely fast. Now, the one problem I'm having is that I have to take into account that we have a mercenary contract right now, and if I were to, well, see, that's the thing, that's the challenge. Remember I said a challenge at the very beginning of this series, mini-series, whatever you want to call it, and that challenge was to create a faction in under 200 days, and there's a bit of an update here, bit of an update on that. We are currently at 120. Day 120, or I think it's actually 118, but I think by the time I tell you, it's probably 120. So let's go and fight these guys real quick, because they seem to have some nice prisoners, and maybe we'll be able to, maybe get some. I don't know, really. Basically, we just want to get a little bit of renown, get back into fighting some things, and obviously these guys are pretty high tier as well. As far as I'm aware, they are high tier well, Bravosi crossbowmen. So, who knows? Maybe they will be so good that we will not know what hit us and we'll just have a huge problem on our hands, but hopefully that will not be the case. So let's go for some nice ranks here, and we're going to tell them to just hold position on the little peak there, and we're going to tell them to stand closer once, and if these guys do not absolutely get destroyed by our archers, then I will be extremely surprised. I think I'm actually going to tell our people to hold fire right now, because these enemies are not actually moving, as you can see. They don't seem to be moving at all, actually, which is very, very strange. Ah, well, it doesn't really matter, does it? Because now we can just fire at will and absolutely destroy them. Yes, here we go. Oh, I love all of our archers dressed in black. Do you see that? Most of them are dressed in black. Isn't that amazing? It looks like the literal Black Death has descended upon the opponent. And I'm really surprised by this, because you would think, considering they're from two different factions, that that would not be the case, but apparently it is. Even though Carhold technically is not really in black, they're kind of in a dark blue, as far as I'm aware. Let's actually just have a look here. Can I find... yeah, there we go. So, yeah, it's kind of a grey, actually. It's more of a grey. So, yeah, but the Raventree archers are in complete black outfits, and that's really cool, in my opinion. So, maybe what I can try to do is a little bit further on, we can maybe try and get an entire army full of Raventree archers. That would be nice. So, let's see if I can actually get this guy. I did actually get one kill already, which is kind of nice, but no. Another one was not to be. Elias. He has not stumbled in many, many years. So, maybe he's losing his touch. Maybe he's losing his touch. Anyway, we have a Hedge Knight here. I actually am not going to take them, because right now we don't really have any use for a cavalry person. And I'm actually thinking of taking some crossbowmen instead, because we are technically only ranged right now. Can we level them up a bit? Yeah, we can actually level them up as well. So I think that's a pretty reasonable idea, and it's not going to hike up our weekly wages by an exuberant amount like with the Hedge Knight. So I think that will be fine. Ooh, we actually have some nice armor here. It's actually, yeah, it's not as good as what we have, of course, but you never know. Maybe it's going to be good for a companion or something like that, or at the very least, it's good to sell. Of course, we do have the thick fur armor here. I'm keeping that for a potential companion because it does have a strength requirement, but it doesn't reduce power throw or power draw, so technically it would be really good for someone that is an archer. You know, maybe Garrett Longley. I seem to remember that we used to have a guy called Garrett, and he was really useful, very, very useful indeed. Okay, so maybe I can find a Lorathi vassal. I know that we've had one beforehand, but I think what I'd like to do is try and weaken up Lorath for now, because I think they are most likely going to be the ones that we start the faction with, because they just, I mean, yes, okay, their units are actually pretty decent. They have some really, really good polearm users. Should I actually fight them on... Okay, I'll tell you what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to save real quick, because it's been a while since I've done a naval battle. I think I did do naval battles in version 2.2, but I have not done a naval battle since then. So let's see if it is... Okay. Yep, okay, yes. So yeah, we're still doing this. Now, the problem with naval battles before was that the person that you were attacking was unable to gain reinforcements, and the attacker would gain infinite reinforcements. So let's hope that we are the attacker in this case, and we're now going to close in and board the enemy. Now, of course, this is going to be rather amusing, because we only have archers, and they have polearms with no shields. So this is... I don't even know. It's absolutely... It's just absolutely thrilling, isn't it? To watch this kind of thing unfold, because, I mean, just look at them. They can't even get to us. If they do get to us, they do slaughter us, though, which is kind of a shame. One of our one-armed villager has been knocked unconscious, so that's a bit of a shame. But other than that, yeah, everything's dead. Very, very easily dead. Now, the one problem with that as well is that we did lose Raventree archers and not Carhold longbowmen. If we had lost Carhold longbowmen, I would have been like, oh yeah, well that's fine. but Raventree archers are generally better, so it's kind of a shame. Ooh, oh, this is nice. Oh, I really wish I had 20 strength right now. Oh, I really do. Well, that's a shame, isn't it? So, yeah, rusty plate armor. If that wasn't rusty, this would be the best thing ever, but it still is pretty decent. It gives us a flat 9 bonus body armor and 3 bonus leg armor. So that's pretty nice. Anyway, we have 67 out of 69. I think well, that was a vassal, but obviously it was a naval battle, so relatively easy, wasn't it? Now, I just don't know how long our mercenary contract is going to be before we actually get a chance to leave, because I'm right here, I'm right next to it, and it doesn't say on our character sheet that I can leave or do anything of the sort. So that's a bit of a shame, isn't it? That is a bit of a shame. Maybe I can look at our faction. We are with Bravos right now. I don't think they're not really gonna tell me anything, are they? No, not really. Well, that's quite a difficulty, isn't it? I would very much like to do something in that regard. Maybe I can find the guy, and maybe I can just be like, I'm gonna leave now. See ya. No, I don't know whether that's gonna happen. Alright, so unfortunately, I cannot find out how long my mercenary contract is going to be. The only thing I can do with the Liege of Bravos is ask him to become a vassal. Obviously, I am not really wanting to do that because that's going to kind of lock me in for a little bit and make it kind of... So that's the thing. It doesn't really lock me in. I could make a faction that way if I were to become a vassal and then take something and then him not give it to me, and then I could revolt against him and take the fief with me. Obviously, that would be kind of a legit way to do it. But I didn't really want to do that. I wanted to kind of have more freedom that way, because if we do take the vassalage and then go and take something, then that fief is obviously ours if he awards it to us, which is most likely with the first fief that you take as the player character, and that's gonna be complicated, because then I'm going to have to take more fiefs, and that's going to result in more days, and we're kind of up against it here. We have about 80 days remaining. That's not a lot of time. That is actually not a lot of time. If you think about it, you can get a lot done as long as you're always in battles, always in sieges, always in things like that. But if you're constantly traveling around, having to get more Raventree archers, having to get more Carhold longbowmen, things like that, it's going to take a lot longer. So unfortunately, I am probably not going to become a vassal of Bravos. They are also having a huge problem with Lorath at the moment. There is the Liege of Lorath right outside Bravos itself, so definitely don't want to go over there. So I had to come down to Rios because apparently they're besieging it right now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and capture a Lord of Norvos. I actually don't know, because we have a lord in our prisoner's hold right now, and I'm actually unsure whether he's from Norvos. So we're going to see if that is the case. There we go. Well, wouldn't you look at that? Isn't this amazing? Okay, so yeah, apparently this is the guy that I have in my prisoner's hold, and he is a vassal of Norvos. Hilariously enough, I actually have no idea how that was even a factor, or how that even happened, but apparently it's meant to be. It is just meant to be. So I can now speak to the Sea Lord. Hello, Sea Lord. About the task you gave me. Yes, I've captured a lord. Apparently. So I've captured a lord. There we go. And we gain 2,000 coins and some relation. There we go. Certainly. Okay, so do you have any more tasks for me? Okay, I don't really... Oh, 5 elite merman slave spearmen. Never gonna happen. No, it's never gonna happen. I'm so sorry. Yeah, that is going to reduce his relation with us, but it's okay. It's absolutely fine. So, I think what we're gonna do is... I mean, there's not much I can do, is there? I mean, I could become a vassal, as I say. Could take something as a result of that, and then revolt. Maybe we can try and do that. Not entirely sure. It's difficult. Alright, so yeah, I think I've given it a little bit of thought here. I was just sitting here for about 5 minutes. I was just like, okay, so what happens if we do this, and what happens if we do that? So, if we do decide to become a vassal, we need to take something almost immediately, and then take something again, and again, and again, and again, and hopefully that will then result in him being like, oh no, you cannot have that many fiefs. And then we can obviously leave as a result of that and create our own faction that way. It's a little bit of a janky way of doing the faction creation, which is actually a bit annoying to me because I personally would have preferred to do it the clean way, but if this is how it has to be, then this is how it has to be, because I don't know whether I have enough time to really wait for the mercenary contract to expire. So there we go. We have now joined as a vassal, and I have been given Utheros's maze as a result. Well, here we are, finally, right? Yeah, it's been a bit of time since we've actually been able to do any substantial battles, and I do apologize for that, but sometimes that's how Mount & Blade goes. You need to, sort of prepare a couple of things, think things over before you fully commit to a particular course of action. And I think this course of action is, in the end, actually a little bit easier than doing it cleanly, because you do have a bit of support from the vassals of your current faction, and you can continue to build up your forces and hopefully gain a castle that has a garrison. So you'll actually be able to stockpile a couple of units, maybe for backups, maybe for things like that, because right now, as becoming a vassal is quite beneficial in the Clash of Kings. It does give you 10 additional max company size, max army size, whatever you want to say, and well, that's the thing. Usually mods will not do that. I'm not entirely sure if that's a feature of the base game that just got removed, but I don't think it is, personally. It's been a long time since I've played that, so yeah, do apologize if I get that incorrect, which is, yeah, usually a bone of contention with a lot of people. But anyway, let's go and lead our soldiers in an assault, and this is going to be amusing. This is going to be really amusing because we're on a hill. We are on a hill against these guys? Are you serious? I don't think they even know what's going to hit them here. Obviously, we can't form ranks, unfortunately. We cannot form ranks, but this is a slaughter. This is an absolute slaughter. They have nothing. They cannot do anything against us. And we don't even need to do anything. I mean, look at this. Obviously, we lost one Carhard Longbowman. That's absolutely fine. We do have a maximum capacity now of 79. So I will be able to get another, well, technically now 11. Another now 11 Raventree and Carhold archers and things like that. So it's absolutely insane. I highly recommend, if any of you are looking to, well, make your own faction relatively easily. It doesn't seem that easy to me, but apparently this is the way to go. I have never thought of making a full archer army in a Clash of Kings. Oh, and there's his stumble. Thank you very much, Elias. It's about time that you stumbled, isn't it? There we go. Okay, let's get in there. Let's get in there and do some damage, shall we? Or not. Just get saved, as you usually do, Elias. Thank you very much. Okay, so now this is the issue here. I don't really... Oh, hello. Yes, I don't really want to run away and come back in. I feel like that's I don't really like doing that. It's not cheap. I don't think that people that do that are using cheap tactics or anything like that, because technically that is in the game, and that is maybe how the developers intended you to play, sieges with with full archer armies, because obviously you don't want your archers fully charging in against an overwhelming force of infantry, do you? So let's just see what we can do here. We're going to tell our archers to charge, and they're going to fire at anything in the vicinity. Oh wow, we only have 7 enemies remaining. Never mind. I did not need to speak about that for that long. Well, that's usually how it goes for me, isn't it? I usually just prattle on about nothing. Oh, and then I get killed as well. Oh, I cannot believe this. Yeah, I really wish you could see me at times, because I just have a huge smile on my face, because I'm just like, yes, that happened. That happened. Very much so. Okay, now don't be feeble now. Don't be feeble in melee combat, please. I know Jeff is in there somewhere. Jeff has got to lead our forces to victory. Where are you? There we are. There he is. That is Jeff right there. Yep. You can't really tell, because he kind of looks a bit similar. Yeah, very similar in actual fact. Anyway, there's 20 renown, which is exactly what we want. We want to increase our maximum company size as much as possible, and we've eliminated 150 units in one fell swoop. Now, I'm gonna probably take some peasants and armed villagers and things like that, because we can put them in the garrison, and that would be kind of nice. Okay, so here we go. We've gained even better gauntlets, very shiny gauntlets. They're gonna call me... What is it now? Elias Shiny Stumble Mormont now, I suppose. Yeah, sounds about right. Okay, so that's 35 body armor. Oh, well, no, head armor, technically. It's not really any upgrade, is it? Well, that's fine. Okay, so we're going to request that Ixa Carrier be awarded to us, and we're going to see what happens with that. But for now, I am going to be ending this episode off here. I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.